Yeah. 7 weeks, a bunch of different winners, and we're back again here for the FWM. The 4Wide Motorsports Mini Stock Tour comes to you live from California, the great state, the awesome state of California, here at the Irwindale Speedway, which now, Emmett Crow, sits dormant. Welcome in, everybody, here on Elevated TV. Hope everybody's having a great afternoon, and I'm joined alongside Emmett Crow. And Emmett Crow, are you ready for some mini stock racing at Irwindale?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. You know, when I think of Irwindale, I think about the old times, about setting in, you know, watching the old truck races or the old K&N series races out here, and such a great track. I hate to see that it lays dormant now. A lot of good battles, a lot of good racing, and it's definitely going to be an exciting night for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And last time we were out was Bristol, and that was an awesome race. You and Scott were on the call for that, and it looks like we still got drivers joining in the session. As I'm looking at timing and scoring, Robert Eversole going to join here late, not get any practice, so hopefully he can get in here and get some laps. And you know, Emmett, this track's got many different configurations, and my personal favorite is the outer inner, which is the outers of 1 and 2, and then they use the inner of the infield stretch on 3 and 4. Love that track, love it, can't beat it. You can race on the bottom, the top, the middle, but you got to keep that tightness through 3 and 4. Whereas on the big track where we're seeing them race tonight, as we see them go out for qualifying, it's going to be compact racing. You're going to see guys all the way down there on that yellow groove down there by the grass, but you're also going to see guys up against the wall. That, to me, Emmett Crow, is what makes Irwindale so unique as a track.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I think back to, I'll never forget, I was putting the channels, and I turned on Lucas Oil on the Edge when he used to come on Speed.
Best show ever.
And my first ever witness of a figure 8 race was at Irwindale. They were filming, they were doing the broadcast, and this is such a great track, and I hate how, like I said, that it's such great. But yeah, we're in for some great racing. It's going to be a big track for such little cars, but I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be some high speeds, some high tempers. You never know what's going to happen for sure.
Well, yeah, and we went to last week at Bristol, man, and I don't think you can get no bigger than Bristol with these itty-bitty. To me, these are like Hot Wheels cars on Bristol. And we're actually seeing something different here, Emmett Crow. We've seen lone qualifying all season long. We've got an open qualifying session, group qualifying, something you don't normally see here with iRacing League. So this is going to be totally different in an aspect, and you kind of got to get separated, Emmett Crow. It's almost like how they do on dirt racing, where they send 4 or 5 guys out there at a time, they get a couple laps, and then they pull in. And this, you don't have that option. You're on there with all, 13 drivers, and you got to pick and choose. Do you want to draft with somebody? Do you want to get behind somebody? Do you want to space yourself out? So there's so many different things you gotta point out when it comes to group qualifying.
You gotta separate yourself, and your only opponent is the clock. And also, you can also take this time out, as another practice session. Get that final feel for that track. If you're thinking about getting that final feel for race day. So I like this idea. I'm glad we went to it, and it should be really interesting for sure.
Well, and I got to ask you, Emmett Crow, we haven't seen Daniel Jones qualify all season. He has started dead last, had a good run last week at Bristol, got all the way up to second, and I think he even led a couple laps. Do you think he's going to qualify this week? Because I don't.
The chances of Daniel Jones qualifying are really slim.
You might have a better chance of a meteor falling out of the sky.
Daniel Jones, great guy. Spoke with him the first time, and he said he just likes to ride around and see everybody, mess up their stuff, and then he'll come by and survive and get through and work his way. And like we saw last week, I mean, he was running in second for the longest time until till that late race caution. But yeah, hope to see a better run from Daniel Jones for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And we got about 6 minutes left here in group qualifying at Irwindale Speedway. And while we got a minute, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get ready to give you your starting lineup, Emmett Crow, and it's going to be a good one. Don't go anywhere. When we come back here at Irwindale Speedway, we'll have your lineup ready to go for 125 laps around the infamous Irwindale. Welcome back here to Irwindale Speedway for the FWM 4-Wide Motorsports Mini Stock Tour. And there you see Bradley Young doing what Bradley Young does every week, drifting, and he's actually doing a pretty good job here. As I say that, he messes it up. And me and Emmett Crow were just talking a little bit. We actually kind of like this group qualifying deal. I feel like it gives a different aspect to qualifying. You know, everybody likes the lone qualifier, in my opinion. You know, it's just how racing is with qualifying. But group qualifying, you know, Emmett, I like it. I mean, it makes you, gives you a little bit more of a feel instead of just 3 laps.
Yeah, and I just want to throw this out there. Looking at this field, I do not see Kyle Dumas in the field, so that is a huge hit to his championship hopes. As I see that he did not join up, so hate to see that happen to Kyle Dumas after having a great season with the mini stocks, but now that opens the door for somebody else for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And want to talk a little bit about what's coming up next. We got the championship night for 4Wide Motorsports, the late model stock tour. They come up Thursday as they roll into Iowa for 125 laps, and that's going to be fun, Emmett. Iowa Speedway, a big NASCAR track. You know, it's different, something you don't see the late models go to, and you know, I'm kind of interested to see where everybody's going to run, as it looks like qualifying is coming down to a close here with 20 seconds. There you go. I'll get it out in a minute. And then we got Leadfoot. They'll be at North Wilkesboro on May 4th, and that's still to be determined right now. Not sure if we're going to be able to make it back in time from Winchester from racing the Roadster. So, we'll kind of see how that goes, but looks like qualifying has come down to an end. Emmett Crow, as looks like Bradley Young has wrecked the race car.
Yeah, and great job by Stephen Luttrell. You know, ever since he joined this league, I mean, night in and night out, I mean, he's just been phenomenal in qualifying and the races. So great to see him. Had a great race last week between him and Austin Cansdale. Of course, Cansdale got the better of him in that race, so look for Luttrell to have a strong showing tonight. But another one, Cody, is Yogi Schleer qualifies 5th. One of his best qualifying efforts of the season. And I'm excited to see what old Mr. Yogi can do tonight for sure.
Yeah, and we've got our starting lineup here for your mini stocks. And look at who's starting on the pole here. Going to be Stephen Luttrell and Devin Morrell on your front row. Hunter Carlson and Austin Cansdale will be row 2. Yogi Schleer and Bradley Young round out row number 3. Benjamin Hollenbach and TJ Spainhauer round out your row 4. And then Father Terry W. Spainhauer and Gerald Berlin round out row 5, Emmett Crow.
Yeah, row 6, that's where we find Lance Starling lining up next to Robert Eversole on the outside. And row 7, bring up the rear, is going to be the 17th of Daniel Mindfu Jones.
the man that always starts in the rear and never finishes in the rear. So I'm excited. And Emmett Crow, I got to ask you while we got a second, who's your pick to win this thing tonight?
You know, looking at it, it's going to be interesting for sure. You know, the clear pick should be Stephen Luttrell or Austin Cansdale, but I think Devin Morrell gets it done. You know, he had a great showing in that Leadfoot race, running with those guys last night. So I think Devin Morrell is going to win this race tonight.
Man, I'm going to have to go with Hunter Carlson. He hasn't been here in a couple weeks. He comes and goes with them when it comes to the mini stocks, but he's always there. He always starts, you know, at the front, then he'll fall to about the mid-pack, and then he's always there at that end of that 125-lap run. So I'm going to have to go with the 32 of Hunter Carlson there starting third. Field rounding out. Emmett Crow, Stephen Luttrell, Devin Morrell, Hunter Carlson, Austin Cansdale, gonna lead them down the backstretch into the restart zone. Emmett Crow, bring them to the start, sir.
Here they come. Here comes Luttrell. He'll lead them down through turn number 4 to the start-finish line, and we are underway here at Irwindale.
Down on up into turn number 1, and whoa, so Luttrell already pushing up, but here comes Cansdale. We're already looking 3 wide down into 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, here comes Cansdale, work on the outside, but look, Emmett Crow, Morrell, work on the outside through 3 and 4.
Yeah, Morrell's going to go to the high side. That's where he likes his car right there, but look at Stephen Luttrell on the inside line. He'll take this position away as we have our first caution of the day.
Yep, looks like Gerald Berlin himself has spun it around there. Let's take a look and see what happened to the number 70 of Gerald Berlin, FWMJ, and I do not know what's happened here. Let's see. The 70's on the outside there. You see him in the yellow and red machine. Up on the outside of Sparenauer. Oh! Little help there.
Terry W., I thought he thought he was clear and just got into the back of Gerald Berlin. But huge shout out to Gerald Berlin for winning the late model race last week.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, yeah, for sure. And you know, we've been kind of hit or miss with the broadcast over there. Thursday nights is just a little rough with me and real life racing. So we're definitely going to try to be there this Thursday for the championship race, and hopefully Gerald Berlin. I think he won USA at the start of the season. I know he won last week at Bristol. So, definitely, he's had a great season in the late models, but he has struggled in these mini stocks.
Yeah, definitely struggled, but he's been caught up in a lot of late race cautions. A lot of wrecks with 5 or less laps to go. So, hate to see that, but yeah, hopefully he can bounce back from this recent caution.
Yeah, Luttrell, though, coming off a second place last week to the 33 in the Kool-Aid Man, Austin Cansdale. And Emmett Crow, he got engaged a couple weekends ago and then wins his first mini stock, or actually second mini stock race, I believe, of the season. So he had a good week last week and looking to turn it around here and see what he can do.
Yeah, definitely got some momentum building on this championship as we get down to the nitty-gritty. I mean, after this week, it's one more at the famed paperclip Martinsville Speedway, so definitely way to build on that championship momentum for sure.
Oh, yeah, Luttrell, Morrill, Carlson, Cansdale, your top 4. They're working their way back into the restart zone. Green flag in the air. We're back underway. 5 laps of 125 complete so far. And Morrell with a big jump into 1 and 2, Emmett Crow.
Yeah, Morrell's going to use that high line, trying to get around Luttrell. Luttrell on the bottom. Morrill up high. They're side by side as they come down the backstretch. Here comes Morrill. He'll shoot up to the high side. Now he'll pull away for just a second. Gets more than a quarter pedal clear as the caution comes up for the second time tonight.
Yep, this time it's going to be for the 8 machine of Yogi Schleer. Let's go back and see what happened to him. Probably, if I had to guess, he's going to have a little bit of a help here from the number 70 this time, or is it going to be the 14? Oh, buddy, Lance Starling.
Lance Starling. Oh, man.
Lance Starling gets in there a little too hot, and around goes the number 8. So, and remember, you got to remember, Emmett Crow, caution laps are counting this week. So, the longer we ride under caution, the less laps these guys get to race. And, you know, if you're Devin Morrill or even Stephen Luttrell or Hunter Carlson, you know, that's going to help you. It can help the 31, but it can hurt the 36 and the 32, and even the 33.
Yeah, it could definitely hurt them, but I just want to go back to a couple weeks when Austin Cansdale won that first mini stock race, and Hunter Carlson called him out and said, "I'll be there next week to show him how to rip the top." Well, this is going to be interesting because now we see Carlson and Cansdale in the same race. Can Cansdale beat him? That'll be the question for sure.
Craig Franklin, no, this is not on CRN. Wesley Outland is not here with us tonight. He'll be back with us Thursday. He works with us on Mondays and Thursdays, and we have all that action on CRN then. So we apologize for that, and we appreciate you tuning in here, though, on Elevated TV. So, and you made a great point there, Emmett Crow. when Cansdale wins, as we see the lights go out on the pace car here, when Cansdale won at 5 Flags that very first weekend, Hunter Carlson called him out and said he's going to show him how to rip the top. This is the perfect track to show him how to rip the top at Emmett Crow.
Yeah, but we see right here, Carlson's on the bottom and Cansdale's on the top, so maybe Cansdale will show Carlson how to rip the top here at Irwindale, but we're ready to get going green, Cody damage.
Yep, Morrill, Luttrell going to lead them back into the restart zone here as we work back to the green. Green flag in the air, 10 laps complete of 125, and Morrill with a great jump on the start. Here comes Carlson. He's going to dive it down on the bottom 3, 1, and 2. Oh, you're going to get into Cansdale. He saves it. 3 wide down the backstretch.
What a save by Austin Cansdale, and it's already early, but we might have our yes sir certified moment of the race. But right now, there's 3 wide back here as Cansdale got shuffled back, and that's going to allow TJ Spainhauer to get to the outside. He's trying to get it, but they're trying to go 4 wide down the backstretch.
4 wide. Doesn't look good. There's still 3 wide. Berlin on the bottom. Spainhauer on the outside. Cansdale going to get tight. He's going to push up. Here goes around the 6. That's going to be Benjamin Hollenbach. The 6 machine going to go around. The 17 is Jones. No caution yet, but I'm sure it's going to fly here in just a moment.
We stay green as they work down the backstretch into turn number 3. Here comes Carlson. He'll shoot to the outside, trying to get around Morrill. Morrill throws the block. Here comes Carlson.
Caution going to come out this time for Daniel Jones. And that was a great little start right there. As we see Daniel Jones going to go around, but Benjamin Hollenbach going to be the reason for the caution. As we look here to see what happened. 3 wide, 4 wide. I mean, you couldn't ask for nothing no better there, Emmett Crow. As we just see, it looks like a little bit of net code there on Terry W. Spainhauer. Doesn't even look like he touched him. It just looks like the net code got the 6 and around he went.
Yeah, it doesn't look like. Let's see it again as we take another look. So Spainhauer's a little loose. See right here. Oh, he did touch him.
He did touch him. He did touch him.
So just ever little bit of contact sent Benjamin Hollenbach around. And Daniel Jones, once again, wrong place, wrong time. I mean, nowhere to go. Hate to see it happen to him for sure.
Yeah, definitely not what you wanted to see there. As they were getting good. It was getting good in the neighborhood, and I'm not talking about your local Applebee's, as Wesley Outlaw would say. And Morrill, and Morrill really didn't want to see that, Emmett Crow. He was fighting on the outside of the 36 of Luttrell, and Luttrell got the lead due to the Iracing caution, and now that's going to put Morrill back to the outside of the 36. But again, the outside might be where you want to be at.
Morrill's car's better on the outside, but I'll tell you what's interesting. That's going to put Carlson still going to be on the inside. I know he wants to get to the outside. You can tell it, but he's trying on that bottom. But I just don't think there's enough grip on that bottom line that he's running. I mean, he's almost running on the apron.
Yeah, and I don't think there's enough yet. I don't think there's enough yet. I think when we get to that lap 100 mark, if we get a good run, I think that's where you're going to see that grip come to the bottom. But, I definitely think you're going to have to get on that outside, and I think you're going to have to do it early. As we come back here to green to get a restart here, Luttrell, the leader, Morrill second, Carlson in third, Spainhauer in fourth, as it looks like they're going to delay the green here. And Gerald Berlin, Emmett Crow, he went from bad to good.
Yeah, definitely went back from worst to best. He didn't go from first to worst, he went to fifth, so that's a good spot for him.
He went from 13th to 5th.
Yeah, 13th to 5th, but the thing is, look at Austin Cansdale up there on the top of the line. That'll definitely be interesting for sure, see if he can get around.
Oh, yes, we come back here, Morrill, Luttrell, into the restart zone. Here we go. Green flag in the air. We're back underway. Luttrell with a good start this time. Morrill not so good. But are we going to see more go back to the outside here as they work through 1 and 2? And Buddy Old Pal, they are back 3 wide down the backstretch. Oh!
As Terry W. Spainhouse is going to go around off the front of Lance Starling. But I think I got to look at a replay because it looked like Terry thought he was clear and came down on the track in front of Starling. But we'll take a look at a replay and get that figured out for sure. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's definitely what happened.
And we got to take a look at something else. Carlson spins.
Oh, wow.
Him and Berlin are gracking. Let's see what happens here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man!
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. I'm not even sure what happened there.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, let's see if we can't...
Somebody.
See if we can't get a different angle. Looks like he just might have got tight.
He didn't lift at all.
He lifted as we look at a little rewind here. You can see his left front tire lock up of the 32 machine.
I don't understand what he was trying to do there.
Yeah, that was one of them. Seriously. That was one of them hold my beer moments. I'm not sure if he just I'm not sure if he just got down there too low and the car just tightened up on him and he got down there. Let's see if maybe we can't grab a word with him and see if we can't figure out what happened. It doesn't look like he's in a chat, so maybe we're not gonna get a word with him. Let's see. Let's get the 70 machine. Gerald Berlin, it's Rooster and Emmett Crow in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
What happened there with Hunter Carlson? Did he say, or was it just a racing incident?
He said his car wouldn't turn, and every time I get near him up there, he always wrecks me for some dumb reason.
Well, we didn't know. We thought maybe he got on the apron and the car just got tight. We weren't sure. So good luck. Looks like we're going back green.
Hey.
And there you heard it yourself, Emmett Crow.
Looks like Iracing is going to send them single file, so we'll get a single file restart.
Looks like Iracing is determined that we need to go single file to get a green flag running here. Green flag back in the air. 23 laps of 125, and we got 102 laps to go there, Emmett Crows. They work back into 1 and 2.
Yeah, as we see Latrell get a great start, but look at Cansdale. Cansdale coming down on the bottom, getting a great run. This time he'll shoot up high as he got the overtake on the bottom last lap, but here he goes, and look at it. Something's happened to Carlson. I don't really see him up there.
Looks like he is back here in the back.
Oh man, that's crazy. But
Cansdale in that Kool-Aid number 33. He's all over the back bumper of that 86 of TJ Spainhour. And Spainhour, the biggest mover of the race there in McCrow, moved up 5 positions, whereas Hunter Carlson is the worst, is a tough luck right now as he has lost 6 spots here as they work back out into 3 to you.
Yeah, definitely a tough break for Hunter Carlson. And I guess that's what you say when you write a check that your butt can't cash. But anyways, back to the race. We see Yogi Slayer trying to get around Bradley Young right here. It's definitely getting interesting. But Latrell's starting to pull away from Morrill. So this might be a Latrell race for sure.
Yeah, Cansdale all over the back bumper of Spainhour there you see. Oh, looks like Spainhour gonna get to the outside of the 33.
Yeah, it looked like Austin tried to jump down to the bottom, and I thought he had the momentum to get past him, but I guess he didn't. And now we see TJ get the position from Austin. A lot of great racing here for sure, Rooster.
And Emmett Crow, I gotta say, I think the problem lies they are literally chipping halfway down the straightaway. And if you don't know what chipping means, basically you're running out of gear in the rear end of the car, and when you start chipping, you're not going anywhere. The car has got all the speed out of it that it can get down the straightaway, so you can't really, you can hear it right there. You can hear it. They're running out of gear, and I think it's making it hard to pass, especially on the bottom, because you can't drive it in there like you want to.
Yeah, you definitely can't drive it in there. And yeah, taking a listen to these cars, they are definitely they're definitely redlining.
Yeah, no, for sure. They are definitely eating the chip up, and we see Spainhauer all over the back bumper of the 31, but he's got a mirror full of that Kool-Aid man, number 33, Austin Cansdale. And Cansdale looks like he's running a little bit higher than both these guys, Emmett. Doesn't look like he's in that groove they're in, but definitely looks like he's trying to find a little bit more speed and grip on the outside.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I don't know who's sliding back there, but there is so much tire smoke coming out of turn number 4 down the front stretch every lap. And when Hunter Carlson looks like he's got a problem.
He is riding there on the bottom. Looks like, I'm not sure if he just fell off or what has happened there with the number 32 machine, but he is definitely off the pace, rolling around the bottom, trying to find a group, and they're going to touch doors a little bit there, and they're going to keep it green. And Carlson not wanting to go to the outside, Emmett Crow. He wants to stay on that bottom. He is committed.
Yeah, Carlson, I don't know what, but now he's getting shuffled up to the top line from Benjamin Hollabaugh. You know, I don't know what happened to that car, because that car qualified good, and he looked good early on in the race, but ever since that dive bomb that he tried, that car's just went away. It makes you wonder, Rusa, if there's anything, mechanical wrong with that car.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Cansdale up in the marbles there in 1 and 2. You can see, I mean, these guys are doing everything they can to find some grip, and I'm not saying anybody go to the bottom yet. I mean, and Luttrell is just driving away. I mean, Spainhauer is trying to push Morrell, but I don't know if Morrell is just a roadblock for these guys and they're trying to get around him or what, but doesn't look like he is playing nice.
No, he's definitely throwing some good blocks, though, on TJ Spainhauer and Austin Cansdale. Right there, man. If you would ask me, I don't think that's Devin Morrow in there. I think it's Ryan Newman. But, the way that he's driving, I mean, great defensive driving from Devin Morrow. And that's going to allow Cansdale to shoot to the high line and try to pick up the position from TJ Spainhauer.
Yes, Spainhauer there on the middle lane, and then I remember Cansdale making that outside line work, but here comes Bradley Young. Bradley Young looking to put his nose in there too, but meanwhile behind them, look at Carlson, Hunter Carlson. He's making a move on the bottom. He has finally figured that car out on the bottom, and he is making moves. But is he going to run out of tire, or are we going to see him go to the front? But meanwhile, here comes Spainhauer. Spainhauer to the outside. He's going to tuck to the inside. Morrell going to throw a block as they work down the back straightaway. Emmett Crow.
Yeah, playing door on Spainhauer, but that's going to allow Cansdale to slide up here. It's a three-way battle for second as we hit the line. 86 to go.
And if you see, Spainhauer is using the bumper, the nose. He's going to push up in front of Cansdale. That's going to hurt Cansdale's momentum. Here comes Bradley Young. We're going to have a four-way mix in here for second. And if you notice, Emmett Crow, the 86 of Spainhauer, TJ Spainhauer is using the front bumper, trying to push the 31 up the racetrack so he can get up under him.
Yeah, I wish I was a fly on the wall in the chat room because that in the party, because I bet you there's some choice words saying that we cannot play on the air right now. But this is some great action for sure, and great defensive driving from Devin Moore. I mean, he's able to keep that car in second. Yes, Steven Luttrell's pulling away, but track position's key. Oh my gosh, Hunter Carlson has caught up to these guys too.
Jens Spainhauer, he has just almost gotten to the back of the 31, but I don't think that was Spainhauer's fault. I think fight to keep on to second, but here comes Cansdale. We got a three-way battle. Cansdale says if nobody's going to go to the outside, I'm going to go, but Morrell's going to put a block on him as well. He is making that car, Emmett Crow, as big as the racetrack.
Yeah, he's making that car. I mean, he's throwing some crazy blocks. Great blocks. As we hear that Robert Eversole couldn't make it. So, hate to see that. But yeah, great racing as even Latrell has set sail on these guys. But great racing for second for sure.
Yeah, and that has allowed Cansdale, the move there has allowed Cansdale to get around Spainhauer, but Morrell's still not giving up. He almost reminds me of Jake McElfresh. He's making that mini stock as wide as the racetrack. Jake McElfresh does the same thing with the street stock. He makes that thing as wide as the racetrack. This is crazy.
He's doing a lot of mirror driving. He's doing some good mirror driving. I mean, I don't know how he's keeping. Well, as we see Cansdale. Now that Cansdale has got around Spainhauer, I think it won't be as chaotic.
I think Cansdale wreck him. I think Cansdale won't give him the bumper and it'll spin morale out.
See, I don't think that. I think Cansdale would race him a lot cleaner than TJ would. But I think Cansdale, if he gets to the inside, he's going to go away.
Well, here's my thought process. If you're Cansdale may get impatient because he knows he's fast. He knows he's faster than Morrell. He knows that he's running out of time to catch Latrell. And Spainhauer may even get impatient too. And I don't think they'll intentionally wreck each other, but I think it'll just be a racing deal. And, they'll be racing so hard and getting impatient that they'll get into each other, and it'll just cause a big mayhem. I mean, you got 6 cars. You got Morrell, you got Cansdale, you got Spainhauer, Young, Hunter Carlson, and I think that's the lap car of Chilier. You got 6, 7 cars right here on top of each other. One car makes a mistake, especially these 3-pack, half the field's wrecking.
Yeah, definitely. But I was impressed with. I like Cansdale's line he started running. He started running a wide line when he goes into the turn. He'll shoot up high, and then he'll really diamond the corner, trying to get that momentum. And you got to think about it. Also, another thing, Cody, what about tires? I mean, these guys have been racing awful long for 20, 30 laps.
Oh.
When did the tires, as we see Cansdale hit the wall, when did the tires come into play?
I think you're going to see people start coming down the pit road if we don't have a late race caution. I think you're going to see. As we see Hunter Carlson, he's up in the mix now. We got a 3-way battle again. As here comes Spainhauer back to the outside. As we got a caution, this is a caution. I think you're going to see people come down pit road and get 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, wow. And looks like to be Terry W. Spainhauer. Let's see it right here.
Ooh.
Well.
Oh boy. Berlin. I'm gonna let you call that one.
So here's the thing. We always give Gerald the benefit of the doubt, saying he probably caused that, but that time it didn't look like he caused that. So
I think he was just driving.
Yeah, he's just driving. I don't think he even touched him really. But that's good to see Yogi Schleer get his lap back.
And I think right here is where you're going to see everybody come down pit road. Cansdale's going to stay out. What a move!
Wow, that's an interesting move for sure.
Cansdale going to stay out. Wow, never would I thought that. And Emmett Crow, we seen this last week at Bristol. We seen Cansdale stay out and win it by just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not by much. Just a little bit. And you got to think, is he playing the same strategy here?
I don't know how. Well, look at Lance Starling. Lance Starling jumps up to the number 2 spot. This is the highest he's been all season long. So, can we see an upset between these 2 great drivers and see Lance Starling get that first win?
For sure. And I got to say, when it comes to what Billy Cooper's saying, TJ's definitely not a dirty driver. I think it'll just be so hard racing and everybody will just be on top of each other, and everybody's going to be impatient, wanting to make moves, knowing everybody's getting far, and you're just going to have a big one. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of them just racing incidents more so, not anybody really wrecking each other or intentional wrecking. I think it's just going to be so hard and so many cars on top of each other. I mean, you got to think of like an accordion effect, Emmett Crow. One car's going to hit another one, then another one, then another one, and then it might take one guy that's in the back minding his own business to get and cause the entire thing. So it's just things you got to look at when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And in no way do I think that TJ's a dirty driver. He's a great driver. But like you said, there could be, a racing incident, but it'll definitely be interesting. And I'll tell you something interesting. It looks like Starling has jumped down to the inside. What just happened? Starling has pulled all the way to the back?
As we got the green flag again, I'm not sure what happened there. And,
Bradley Young did not get going. Bradley Young did not get going, and that checked up Devin Morrill. What is going on?
That's going to allow Cansdale and Luttrell to turn away, but you got to think here, Emmett Crow. Cansdale's on old tires, Luttrell's on freshies. Fresh tires. Are we going to see him pass Cansdale, or are we going to see Cansdale hold off? We seen him run the perfect line at Bristol. He held off for 50 laps, 40 laps, whatever it was. And he got the win, but I don't think he's going to do it here as he works down the bottom. Here comes Hunter Carlson, Young, Morrell. Here comes Morrell to the outside of Young, Emmett Crow.
Yeah, that is the question. Can Cansdale go 2 for 2 for 2 over Luttrell? But yeah, look at Carlson coming up here. Carlson's got to run. And I tell you, well, never mind. As we see Luttrell get past Cansdale, but Cansdale's not done yet. Cansdale's got a good car on that high side. And if he gets enough momentum, as we see Carlson battling for the lead.
Well, and you got to think here too, Emmett Crow. Is Cansdale banking on a late race caution, get 4 fresh tires, and these guys be on old tires, and he be able to get his tires later in the race, but that's something you got to like it's like a betting. You never know if it's going to happen. And everybody, the entire field, I think, is on fresh tires except Cansdale and Starling, and Cansdale is falling fast.
Yeah, Cansdale, well, he's not really falling fast, I would say, Cody. He's definitely fallen out of the lead, but I mean, Morrill's right there. He's only lost about 2 positions, so I mean, it's not falling. Well, now, never mind. He's going to drop all the way back to 5th. So, scratch what I said. But yeah, I can't believe he didn't come to get tires.
Yeah, it blows my mind that he didn't come to get tires either. I mean, that's just one of them deals. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. You never know, but the way these guys have been running, that we could get a late race caution. We could see Irwindale right back up here and battling for that win for sure.
As we go back up front, Hunter Carlson has caught Stephen Luttrell. He has ran him down. The question is, it's one thing to catch him, but it's another to pass him. Here comes Carlson to the back bumper of the number 36 of Stephen Luttrell as they work down the back straightaway. Emmett Crow, will he get to him?
I've been looking at the lap times between Luttrell and Carlson. And Luttrell just ran his best last lap. So, looking at the lap times, I mean, Luttrell's running at 2080, and Carlson's running at 2095, so he's got him by about 15 hundredths of a second. So, I mean, it'll be interesting for sure if he can catch him, but I just think Stephen Luttrell's too good on that line that he's running. He's going to knock him off his line for sure.
Here comes Carlson. Carlson back to the outside. Running, I mean, he's running the Kyle Larson line, I think is what they call it there, Emmett.
Yeah, he's definitely rim riding out there trying to get some momentum up on that wall. But the thing is, Luttrell is just too good on that high side, and that's what Carlson's trying to do. And Luttrell's able to defend his position because Carlson cannot run the high side like Luttrell's car can and has all night long.
As we look a little bit further back, Morrell has finally gotten around. Cansdale falling fast. He is back to 7th. Benjamin Hollingbaugh back there in 8th. Cansdale making a very, very bad move on tires. Don't think was a smart decision as they work. Oh, man. Hollingbaugh hard in the wall. Cansdale hard in the wall. Oh, Spadehauer going to throw it in there. Have to jam the brakes, or he's going to get into 33. Doesn't look, Cansdale is something is wrong, Emmett.
Yeah, and it's either something wrong or he's doing something wrong. That was very, very, as the kids say, sus right there. But, yeah, I hate to see this from Cansdale, but he could have a flat. I think his tires are completely gone, and he's just trying to get it down the pit road.
Yeah, I definitely think he's just trying to do the best he can. And not the way he wanted to go is we got 53 laps to go. We're going to take a quick commercial break and step away. When we come back here, we'll have more from the Irwindale Speedway in Irwindale, California, here for the 4-Wide Mini Stock Tour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a minute.
They're still beating and banging, and to the line!
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
welcome
Here we
back
are.
here to welcome back here to Irwindale Speedway, and you ain't missed much. It's the Stephen Luttrell show here so far, and Hunter Carlson runs in second, and Devin Morrill runs in third, Bradley Young fourth. Daniel Jones, after that early spin there, Emmett Crow, he rounds out your top five.
Yeah, he does. He definitely. You know, we were talking about old Mindfu. You know, he runs at the butt. You know, starts at the back, and then got involved in the caution. And look at him, right back up there in the top five.
Yeah, and then you got T.J. Spainhauer in sixth, Gerald Berlin in seventh. Then you got Spainhauer, Terry W. Spainhauer in the Havoline number 10 and 8th. Benjamin Hollabog in the 9th. Lance Starling in the 14 machine in 10th. And then poor old Kool-Aid, oh yeah man, Austin Cansdale rounds out your 11th. And then Yogi Tresser rounds out your 12 cars. That's your lineup.
That definitely been a great race. I don't know, Cody.
And I don't say this to jinx it, but I feel like we need a caution. And here's my reason why, Emmett Crow. We kind of discussed it a little bit under commercial break. Bunch of these guys back up. Let's put on a show for the race fans out there watching. Double file, no single file, double file. Let them race, and let's have a good race. I think that will spice things up. I think that will. I mean, if not, Stephen Luttrell is going to drive away with this thing.
Yeah, definitely. But Cody, why don't you take it just for a second? I'll be right back.
To see Benjamin Hollenbach there in the 14 and Lance Starling. This going on for a top 10, 9th and 10th right here. So the 6th and 9th, 14th and 10th. Battling it out here as you see Starling goes to the outside. Benjamin Hollenbach on the back on the top lane there, and here comes that 14 once again. Luttrell, though, out front, lapping. He's actually about to lap Austin Cansdale. The guy that was leading the race at the start of the green flag run here, he's about to lap him, that number 33 machine. And Austin Cansdale struggling, probably debating, should he have went down pit road? Should he have not? And you got to begin to wonder what he is going through his mind there in the old Kool-Aid man, number 33 machine. And definitely not the night he was wanting, as we see Stephen Luttrell right there on the back bumper and Schleer on the bottom. All these guys lap down cars. Luttrell going to go to the outside. Whoa. Cansdale almost made a mistake there in front of our race leader as Luttrell working the outside. We're going to be coming around to 30 laps to go. Luttrell, Hunter Carlson, Devin Morrell, your top three. And right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off, Cody. Luttrell, you know, what he's got going for him is in this lap traffic, you know, so that'll definitely be interesting, you know, as he pulls away from Carlson, and this lap traffic will definitely help him.
Yeah, and I gotta begin to wonder. Luttrell looks just a little bit better than Hunter Carlson does. Hunter Carlson's still trying to find some grip as he is passing, and it looks like Cansdale looks like he is just going to continue to struggle, though, as we see. I mean, everybody just kind of single filed out as we approach 25 laps to go here.
Yeah, everyone's single filed out, and Stephen Luttrell, you know, building on the momentum, and I think he could possibly walk away with this championship next year.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's going to take some time as we see Mindfu Jones. He's catching Bradley Young for fourth in that number 17, so definitely looks like Daniel Jones has found some speed in that number 17, and Bradley Young still struggling as we see Daniel Jones going to pull to the back bumper of that number 89 there, Emmett Crow.
Yeah, Jones trying to get up to the back bucket. Now he's trying to get around onto the side, onto the corner panel, so he can get alongside Bradley Young for the 4th position. Great run from Daniel Jones, by the way. Had a strong performance at Bristol, and then comes back and has another strong performance here at Irwindale.
And look who else is in that mix. Spainhauer. TJ Spainhauer, the number 86. This is going on for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Here comes Jones to the inside of the 89 as they work through 4.
Yeah, Jones trying to get to the inside, but now TJ is going to try to shoot to the outside and take away the position from Jones. All in all, while Stephen Luttrell has built on his lead, he has jumped out to a 2.17 second gap over your second place of Hunter Carlson. So great runs going on as we see TJ Spainhauer getting around Monfrey Jones for the 5th position. Excuse me.
Yeah, for sure. And these guys are definitely putting on one heck of a show. And again, that's going on for 4th, 5th, and 6th as we see Spainhauer. Here comes Spainhauer. He looks to the inside of Bradley Young. To the inside, side by side as they work down into 3, Emmett Crow.
Yeah, it's a brotherly sibling rivalry between these two, and we see TJ Spainhauer get the better of Bradley Young and take the position away. And he's got his sights set on that 3rd place car of Devin Morrell. Excuse me.
This is the best battle on the racetrack right now. The 86 of TJ Spainhauer, the 89 of Bradley Young, and the 17 of Daniel Jones. Does anybody have anything for Stephen Luttrell? I don't think so, Emmett Crow.
I don't think so either. Stephen Luttrell has jumped out to a 3.24 second lead. Almost a 3.5 second lead over Hunter Carlson. I think Stephen Luttrell, if we don't get a caution, is going to walk away and ultimately walk away with the championship next week.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think he's going to. Oh, Starling. Not too sure what was going on there with the 14, but he almost takes out your leader, and that would have not been okay.
He's got a problem. He's in the wall.
Gerald Berlin trying
tire
to.
down. Tire down.
Looks like he's got it back on. Maybe not a tire down.
Maybe not. He thought he did. Maybe just going to the marbles.
Stephen Luttrell, though, as we see Hunter Carlson, he is way back there. I mean, you've got 2 lap cars in between him and Stephen Luttrell. So,
man.
Here comes Jones, though. He's to the inside of the 89 of Bradley Young. This is a battle for 5th.
Yeah, Daniel Jones going to drive it to the inside. Going to get alongside of Bradley Young down the front stretch to the line. That time it was Bradley Young with the position, but here comes Jones. Jones shoots to the inside as they come down the back stretch. They're headed back to you, Cody.
Yeah, Mindfu Jones going to step in behind the 89. He's going to try to drive it down to the bottom. He's trying to almost diamond or arc the corner, or whatever you want to call it. Young going to get in the wall there. That's going to open up the door for the 17. No, he's going to tuck back in behind and see if he can regroup, repace, get back to him. Here comes Terry W. Spainhauer. Remember, he is a lap-down car, but he is in the mix. 14 laps to go. Stephen Luttrell still your leader.
Yeah, right here we see Daniel Jones drive to the inside of Bradley Young. He just can't get alongside of him. I think he'll get the position, but I think he's going to have to move him to get it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And Morrell and Carlson are far apart. Then you got Hunter Carlson and Stephen Luttrell. As we got 12 laps to go, and Again, the best battle on the racetrack right here. The 89 and the 17 battling for a top 5. Mindfu Jones trying to crack the top 5. Bradley Young trying to hold on to the top 5. As we're working 10 laps to go. Here's, whoa, the Havoline machine. Gonna throw her in there.
Yeah, trying to throw it in there. Definitely.
And I gotta wonder, does Austin Cansdale just not have any tires? I wonder why he didn't pit Emmett Crow. I wonder if he pitted earlier and forgot to turn his tires off or something happened. That's why he is still out there. I mean, he's run 125 laps on one set of tires.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He never pitted. And so he does have a set of tires, but I don't understand. I think he was just hoping for that late race caution. But it looks like he's not going to get it.
Well, it's not over till the fat lady sings, and she ain't sung yet. So we don't know if it's going to happen or not. So definitely going to be interesting to say the least. And as we see Jones, Young going to work to the outside of Spanhauer, and Jones still right there on the back bumper of that 89. It's not over yet. And Jones trying to use the momentum, trying to keep the top side, but I just don't know if he's got the speed to get around him, Emmett Crow.
I'll tell you who's one to see these two get together is that 33 of Austin Cansdale. He's like, yes, moving. Get a little little action going so that Iracing will throw the caution. I can get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, for sure. And Cansdale begging for a caution right now. I'm sure he's out on the radio talking to a spotter saying, throw something, a cup out there on the track or something to get us a caution. At this point, I mean, kid's done all he can to get to where he's at now with it, and still begging for cautions. As we see Jones almost down on the apron as he's trying to get around that 89 machine, and he's got a nose there, but just not the momentum off the corner. I think Jones is better on entry through center. Young's better through center off.
I think Daniel Jones is going to have to move him if he wants that position. We got 4 laps to go, but yeah, just like you said, as you see right here, Daniel Jones drives it in so deep, and he's right up on the back bumper, but yeah, corner exit, Bradley Young has he beat, and I think that's why Jones is just looking ever so slightly for him to make a mistake.
Well, 3 laps to go. 3 more times around the half-mile oval of Irwindale Speedway for the number 36 of Stephen Luttrell. And he'll pick up another win here in the FWM 4 Wide Motorsports Mini Stock Tour. He's going to come around through 3 and 4, Emmett Crow. Popsicle sticks in the air 2 more times around for the number 36.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I hope you did not just jinx it. But I also want to say this. Austin Cansdale is not the first car to lap down. So if a caution does come out, Cansdale does not benefit because he has to pit. So I don't understand. I don't know what happened with the 33 team, but the white flag's out.
White flag, the CRN, 1 to go for Stephen Luttrell. He has hit his marks all night, qualified on the pole, started on the inside, worked his way, fell back a little bit. He comes off of turn number 4. Stephen Luttrell going to be a winner once again in the mini stocks. What a dominating performance from the number 36 of Stephen Luttrell. Fought his way to the front, got out front early, led to the caution come out there when we had the long green flag run. Emmett Crow drove his way back out of the pit road with 4 fresh tires, got around Cansdale, and never turned back. Stephen Luttrell wins here again in the 4 Wide Motorsports Mini Stock Tour.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say it. I believe that was a championship clinching win right there because there's no one going to be able to catch him after this win tonight. So congrats to Stephen Luttrell coming in late in the season and ends up walking away with the championship. Unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure, as we see him here doing his Polish victory lap on the number 36 of Stephen Luttrell, and well-deserved Polish victory lap in the number 36 there, and can't say more that he don't deserve it. I mean, he had dominated, and gonna try to burn it down, but looks like he might just nose it, and I'm not sure what he's gonna try to do here. But we're going to take a quick look at our results while we got a second. Emmett Crow. Stephen Luttrell started on the pole, wins here at Irwindale. Hunter Carlson, Devin Morrell, TJ Spainhauer, Bradley Young round out your top 5. Daniel Jones just could not get around him. Good performance there, coming back from 13th, Emmett Crow.
Starling in 7th, Gerald Berlin in 8th, 9th, Benjamin Hollenball, and Austin Cansdale ends up finishing 10th. 11th, Terry W. Spainhauer. 12th, Yogi Schlier. And Robert Eversole round out the field.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back here at Irwindale, we'll have your winner, Stephen Luttrell, in the booth with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a minute. Back here at Irwindale Speedway, and we have got our winner, Stephen Luttrell. And Stephen, dominating performance. I got to ask you, what was going through your mind when you seen Austin Cansdale stay out and not take tires?
I definitely thought that was very interesting. I noticed that my right tires did not wear all that much, but I said, well, let's see how much that wear really works. You know, how much that actually is. And I tailed him going into turn 3 on the restart, and because he had to back out so early, and apologized for that. I'm like, whoa! I didn't realize what there was that much more speed in these tires. So I'm glad I came and got tires.
Damn it.
So let me ask you this. So we were talking, and how does this win feel, knowing that you're probably the favorite now to win the championship next week at Martinsville?
Oh man, I don't know. It's crazy. I came in here just looking for something. I just looking for a mini stock league to run, and came in here, and these cars just suit my style, my driving style so well. I just love these cars. And then to turn it into a championship seems kind of out there to me. I don't know.
Right, and you know, we seen you at Bristol last week. You know, Austin Cansdale somehow edging you out. I mean, you guys rode for 30 laps, it felt like, side by side, and never touched each other. And then you come here, and you know, I don't know if he just tried the same strategy or whatnot, and you definitely dominated the last half. And anybody you want to thank for getting you the victory here?
Oh, I just have to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my wife, my kids, and I got to say a shout out to my grandson, Mason. He's actually watching right now. I hope he gets the racing bug, and we will go racing with it.
Heck
Hey,
yeah.
Mason.
Heck yeah, that's good. Well, congratulations to 36 of Stephen Luttrell, and I think this is going to lock up the championship here for the number 36. I'm not 100% sure, but I think. And hopefully we'll see you next week for the championship race at Martinsville.
Yep, I'll be there.
Alrighty, well, Emmett Crow, great race tonight, man. I'll be honest with you, my favorite part, and I would have to say the yes or the moment of the race, and I'm probably not going to go back and find it, would be when these guys were 3 and 4 wide there on that restart. I think it was like the second or third restart, and they were putting on a heck of a race. And then you had TJ Spainhauer, Morrell, and Cansdale, 3 bumper to bumper. I would have to say that'd be the yes sir moment of the race for me. What about you?
I totally agree, and that's what we said. As we have the points, here are the latest points, and Austin Cansdale is the new points leader. Wow. Stephen Luttrell second, Bradley Young in third, Daniel Jones fourth, and Yogi Schleer in fifth. So that is very interesting for sure, and I think it came down looking at the points. It's down to starts. Austin Cansdale's got 7 and Stephen Luttrell's got 5. I don't agree with that. I think Luttrell should have the wins and that should go over the starts. But yeah, there's your points and there's your championship battle for next week.
For sure, for sure. Well, we appreciate everybody that tuned in here on Elevated TV, and we hope you guys enjoyed an amazing race, and we'll see you Thursday night for 125 laps for the championship to crown a winner on the FWM Late Model Stock Tour. For myself and Emmett Crow and everybody at Elevated TV, have a good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of Elevated Broadcasting. Elevated TV would like to thank all of our fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.